Hello, my name is Dr. David Mayanja. It's my pleasure to be here. Today, we're introducing a new program called Nature's Legacy, whereby we're introducing a company called Natural Medicinal Herbs, Inc. This is a company that has been in existence for years, treating different elements of diseases using natural products, natural supplements. And I'm here with Madame Andrea, whereby we are studying this program today, whereby we're going to learn more about my background, how did I start this company. So there's so many things that we're looking forward to share them with you. Bear with us for this program. I believe by the end of this show program, you're going to love it because there's so much to share with. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So tell us how long you've been in business.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. That's a great question. Initially, myself, I'm from Uganda, the country called Uganda in East Africa, and I've been in the United States for over 20 years. But I can give you a little background about my childhood from Uganda. Uganda, it's in East Africa. That's Uganda, we have Kenya and Tanzania. I was raised in a unique family whereby they've been practicing this treatment or traditional healing, medication, giving people remedies. Because I remember when I was still young, I used to see so many people used to visit our home for getting services from my father. He used to, we are six, we are raised six in a family. My siblings and I, my father used to send us with the other employees around home, collecting different medicinal plants, crushing them. It was a really booming business whereby so many people used to visit, and people who are like couples failed to conceive, people with epilepsy, people with all kind of disease. It was like a market. So I was very impressed when I was young, and I learned a lot from the venture that my father also inherited from his father. So this legacy of Nature's Legacy treatment of this company of Natural Medicinal Herbs, Inc. started a long time ago, for over 300 years ago. And it has been preserved from generation to generation through inheritance legacy, whereby if for example, if I die, then my son inherit, we train them, they prepare them. So that's what happened. But the core factor of this, the core value of this company is that they preserved the formulation of the healing medicinal formulations through written documentations. Because my father had almost like 100 books, some even from 1980, 1970. And I was wondering, so we used to ask him that, how did these people even knew how to write? It was very, very impressive. And in Uganda, whereby, as you know, Africa, they still have much challenges in healthcare, particularly in Uganda. Almost 80% of its population depends on traditional medicine. It's something that people can easily access because of the challenges with the healthcare. So it opened a big audience. People like to advocate it much and to use them for a long period of time. So my family, after preserving those formulations for a long period of time, they started commercializing. They started giving it out to its different customers, and the legacy grew up like that. So when I was young, at the age I was, I think by that time I was a young man of 18, 19, that is in high school. My daddy died. So when he died, he had a different stores of selling these herbal supplements, and he had clients who used to visit our home. I remember when I was young, some people come with the chicken, and come with the goats, like couples, I had issues with bearing kids, now we have twins. So it was very, very, very impressive. So when he died, he left the vacuum open. He left the vacuum open, but I'm glad that I was well prepared, and I was very impressed with the work. So when I finished my advanced level of education in Africa, specifically in Uganda, it's like it's a British colony. British colony, like we follow education of British education. Like you go to kindergarten, then they go to, because people need to know, oh, what is the high school level mean? What is the advanced level of education? It's like you go to kindergarten, you go to primary school. When you finish primary school, you go to secondary school. Secondary school, they do have like 2 sections. They have A level, O level, that's ordinary level of education. That is from senior 1 to senior 4. Then A level, from you study 2 years, senior 5 to senior 6 before joining the university. That's how it is. So my dad I died when I was in senior 6 towards to the university. That's when he passed away. He just died mysteriously. He was working with one of his clients, and I think his client had some issues with mental illness. So he grabbed him and he bited his finger. So in that situation, he never took the bite very seriously. He was a guy who used to love animals. He used to spend much time at the farm with the cows, with what. So he just put a tape on the finger, but he never took it very seriously. So he never knew, or he never had the vaccination for tetanus. So after maybe like 4 or 5 days after the incidents, he started developing, he can't change his neck. He started having issues with changing his neck. Anyway, when he went to the hospital, they diagnosed him that he had tetanus. And that was it. They tried to stop it, they couldn't. They put him on light. Within a short period of time, he died. So tetanus is a very serious disease, virus that everybody should have a vaccination. Yeah. Actually, that's the first thing that I always do. They say I think every 10 years or something, but I get a vaccination after that incident. So my family was very vulnerable because people trusted the services of my father for generation. So when I joined the university in Uganda, my first year in Uganda, Makerere University, because I had a lot of assignments to run this company, to attend to the client. I was a very, very sharp boy. So I got some of the friends from South Africa, even some guys from China. So I went to China. They invited me for some it was like convention in China, Shanghai. So when I went to Shanghai University, they had a convention in Shanghai University. I was impressed, and I started practicing alternative medicine there for 4 years. So I spent 4 years in China, and I was very impressed that Chinese loved traditional medicine to death. Like, they loved it to death. So compared to Uganda, so when I went to China, I said, wow, these guys are they had like large scales of herbal medicine, like name it, powder, machines. So I gained much skills from China based on my background. So when I went back to Uganda, I started my company. So I started a company that can match on connections that I got from during that time with the South Africans. I remember I went to Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University in China, in South Africa. So I started a company called Bamutasa Herbal Joint Research Center. It was it's a local name, which means Bamutasa. It means savior. That's the meaning. But there is the essence of that name. Why I named my company Bamutasa. We shall reach out there. So that company was very successful. I had a lot of offices in all districts of Uganda. I had a lot of customers. People used to line up. I had commercials on television. Oh my God, it was really serious. So afterwards, I had some situations that forced me to leave the country in Uganda. And that's when, but before coming to United States, I used to have I used to fly from Uganda to here for business trips. I used to go to universities like University of New Mexico in Albuquerque. We used to have conventions for different traditional healers and interaction, sharing information, knowledge. I used to go to UK. I was a popular guy. I can say popular guy. So when I came into United States, of course, I continued practicing my traditional medicine. Like we had already clients, and we started this company called Natural Medicinal Herbs Inc., but still with the legacy of Bamtasa Herbal Joint Research Center. So I have a unique story why we call that company Bamtasa Herbal Joint Research Center. When I was young, I was raised with my mother. My mother is a single woman. She raised 6 children. She got a divorce when I was, I think, in 8, 9 years with other brothers, close, mostly close, difference of a year, some months, for 6 children. So she started her life with her mother, with a small land that the father left. She had no money, and life was really tough of raising 6 kids in the village. You have, in Africa, they don't have a child support. She needed to hustle to make sure that these kids survive. It was really tough. So she started with a small farming, growing agriculture, growing crops, selling those crops so that we can get a living. And during the time when we lived during that village, were different cattle keepers. The cattle keepers used to have cows and selling cheese, and so she took advantage of the neighborhood of selling cheese and cows, and she used to sell her produces to those cattle keepers so that she can be able to earn a living to support support the 6 kids so that we can get school fees. So that's how it is. I love my mom. I love my mom so much. So one day, Andrea, she said, "Hey," because I used to ride a bicycle, and I used to put her back at the bicycle. Then I ride the bicycle, young man. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Someone there's some big bicycles, where Andrea, you can sit and your son ride the bicycle.
Yeah.
So I used to do that to my mom. So one day, say, "Hey, David, today we're gonna go and pick some cheese to so and so. We're gonna go in the evening." We used to always, whenever you want to collect milk in the village, you always go in evening. After the cow grazing, they always do milking in the evening time. So we say, "Okay, mommy." So after school, we prepare. They went to the farming to collect the milk. So when you go to the farming, they always have like a paddocks that protect those cows, and you need to go in to enter the farm. One day, Andrea, it was evening time. I went to my mommy, and I was in front of her, right, moving with the bicycle. So when I stepped in to enter the paddock, a big snake touched my hand, my leg. I jumped over. I couldn't know even what happened, but I had something sharp biting my feet. So I throw away the bicycle, and my mom, she had a small torch. When she pressed the torch, the snake ran away, and the whole blood was flowing everywhere from my feet. It was very shock, but my mom, I'm very proud of her. She's very genius. I don't know how she learned the first aid. She grabbed the handcuff. She had a handcuff on her head, the scarf. She tied my leg, and she put him on the bicycle and went back home. To reach at home, Andrea, my leg was swelling big. So on that village, we had the old guy who was very famous. As I told you that in Africa, specifically in Uganda, 80% of the population depends on traditional medicine. So we had those traditional healers everywhere. So this guy used to heal poison, like if you get bitten with snakes, most especially snake. He was very genius. And we had no choice. we had no money. We had no Speedo. The only alternative my mom had is take me to that guy so that he can save me. And the leg was swelling like this. So she took me on the bike. She took me to that guy. It was, I think, evening time, almost like 9 o'clock at night. After the incidents, maybe 2 hours after the incidents, the leg is swelling like hell. And when the guy saw the leg, he said, oh my God, what happened? They don't give you the story. He said, well, I'm going to give you the medication, but you're going to stay. So I stayed to the guy. He went. I don't know where he went. He grabbed some medicine like leaves, shaking his hands, crushing them in a cup, in a pour cup, and he gave it to me. Drink. He poured another one. He crushed another sand, like some small solid sand, and he smeared my leg. And he said, you're going to stay there until even tomorrow. We see how you're going to be the next day. So I stayed in his home, I think was a week or two. And the leg that was swelling started moving back. Within 3-4 weeks, the whole leg was getting back in its normal shape. And the place where the snake bited started producing a lot of water discharge from my leg. I was very impressed. And that guy healed me. And when I got healed, I had a chicken. I told my mom, you know what? I need to give this guy a gift. Of course, they paid him some money, a little money as in village. And I gave him a big chicken. So when I grew up and I finished, I started interacting with those Chinese and South Africans and different researchers in the USA and UK. That's when I started that company called Bamutasa. Bamutasa, it means savior. So the legacy of the guy that healed me, the snake, that's where I started the name of Bamutasa. And that company, it was very, really successful. The guy died. So from there, I took it very seriously. Based on the background that I had, whereby my father preserved from his grandfather documentations of different medicinal plants, of healing different diseases. But no one talks about it. And nobody want to know about those formulations. You know, from now, when you see the new generation whereby the world is moving very fast, and those folks dies every day, they are disappearing with their ingenious knowledge of science, of healing. You don't even know how they used to do that from those ages whereby they never even went to school. So when I came into the United States, I picked much interest to invest in much time to see how we can develop those formulations that were left behind in regards of collaborating with more scientists to make sure that we are reviving those formulations and the entire public can benefit from this. Because these are the formulas that are being used. I understand that some families, like my family, sometimes were very conservative, like they preserve them within the family. But I believe that we need to preserve this to make sure that we can commercialize it. We can involve with the professionals and doctors and scientists and conduct clinical trials, if possible, to make sure that everyone benefits from this.
That's great.
Yes.
So you didn't answer my question. How long have you been in business?
I know. So I've been in this business for the last 27 years.
Okay.
Yes, for the last 27 years.
And how did you find Framingham?
Okay. So initially I was based in the Waltham area, but I was very impressed with Framingham, or its natural resources and the coordination. I love the Framingham. So always I love to live in Framingham. So when I choose to do so, that's where I opened my company offices where we are living. We have offices in 945 Concord Street. I think 495, yeah, Concord Street. Yeah, so that's where we opened our offices. a couple of, I think now 3 months ago, where we are looking forward to coordinate our businesses. People, they're more than welcome. They can see on the screen the location. They're more than welcome to visit us. We have a lot of staff over there. We have a lot of information to learn. Yeah, so I loved Framingham. Here we are.
And how did you end up in Massachusetts of everywhere in the United States?
Okay, that's great. So when I came in from Uganda, that time, 10 years ago, 10 to 15 years, as I said that prior, before I used to fly in and come in and come in and coming out, come in and coming out. So when I decided to come into Massachusetts, first of all, when you look at the static studies, almost fair to say, 70% of Ugandan population lives in Massachusetts. 70%, believe me, like it or not. Most especially Boston. So it was too much connection, like the connection of my motherland, of the language, the food. That's how I was impressed to come into Massachusetts, Boston, based to that population of Ugandans. Yes.
Great. And then, so your store is open to the public.
Yeah.
And there's an open sign on the door, and people can just come in.
Yeah.
And browse.
So we have open office. We work Monday to Saturday from 8 in the morning to 10 at night. You're more than welcome. You don't need to come. You don't need to. You just call. You just reserve an appointment. You don't need to pay any consultation fee. We don't charge a consultation fee. You're more than welcome to come. We do have different services. When you visit us, you can learn more about our services. So we are looking forward, Andrea, to go deeper in what we're doing, to elaborate to more our services. But yeah, anybody interested, you're more than welcome to come to our place.
And do you think you'll expand?
Yes. So what we are looking for, Andrea, as we are trying to sell out our formulations involving with a lot of scientists, we are looking for more collaborations with people who are interested, like the universities, if they're interested to study more about our formulations, clinical trials. We are looking for more clinical trial support. We are looking for more volunteers. If you are interested in herbal medicine healing, if you are practicing herbal medicine healing, you're more than welcome. You can come and visit us. We can work off together. We can expand the knowledge. We can share the knowledge so that each and every Framingham community member, we need to start the campaign of promoting herbal medicine from Framingham, so that it goes all over America. Okay. And we are looking forward to manufacture or make well-branded supplements of those specific formulation that has been in existence for years. And we are looking for more companies that can support and help us to reach on that dream that we are yearning to reach on.
What are some of the more popular and most effective formulas?
Formulas, yeah, that's a great question, Andrea. So we specialize. I understand my ancestors, our elders, ancestors, they had a lot of things to deal with. And they say, hold on. This is a lot to carry on head. You need to specialize something, a lot of things, Andrea. So we specialized in infertilities. Things like in the male and the female infertilities, with the diabetes supplements, with the high blood pressure supplements, with the sexual dysfunctions, like there's so many cases with the male sexual dysfunction, stuff like that. So those are the areas that we specialized in. So when you say, for example, infertility, what do you mean infertility? Because it's very broad. It's very broad. There's so many areas like a blockage of tubes for ladies, like fibroids. There's some good formulations for that. Things like hormonal imbalance, ovulation, ovarian cysts, pelvic inflammation, painful menstruation period for ladies. When you go to males, like a low sperm count, stuff like the sexual dysfunction, so many things that we look into that. We do have those supplements. It's a matter of someone to visit, then we go through the medical history of those folks. So what we are trying to do, even to Andrea, to collaborate with the professionals. So when you visit our center, we can be able to use professionals, but we end up using traditional healing. Yeah.
So you offer herbal treatments, consultations, workshops, educational materials?
Yes. So we do have a program that we can help those folks who are interested to learn more about nature's healing, whereby we provide like some trainings. We are looking forward to do that. And we are also trying to push ahead, most especially clinical trials. If we get more folks who are interested to join us or to work together so that we can study more about these formulations and producing more supplements from those formulations so that we can meet the demand of the client. So our dream, Andrea, we are trying to introduce something that let people who are interested to use traditional medicine or traditional supplements, that they should meet professionals, people with experience, so that they can guide them what to buy from the vitamin stores or whatever you are going to buy. Like to guide them so that they can be able to, for example, like we have plants which are now, they just talk about them just now. For example, moringa. Moringa has been in service for years, for generations. Moringa, hibiscus, we have lantana camara, we have so many plants that have been popular for generations, but we can guide them, we can have more of guidance using professionals, and they end up benefiting from those formulations that have been in existence from a generation and generation.
And where do you source your herbs, or how do you ensure quality or purity?
Yeah. So first of all, as I said, that we have the documentations of those formulations, and we are looking forward to collaborate with companies that are legalized by FDA to produce those products. But before reaching to that level, we are looking for more collaborations and support. But in that, all the development of those formulations, we need to stick on the natural healing. We don't want to push them beyond of losing that essence of the nature healing that our elders preserved for generations. So, but sometimes we are trying to make it more affordable and more accessible than living or staying within a specific family from a generation to generation, whereby just imagine the guy who never went to school, who saved my leg. So such kind of knowledge, we need to preserve that. How did that guy did that, who never went to school? That's what I'm talking about. And there's so many patients, many people that are benefited from our services. But nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. That's why we are coming out to say that, yes, we got you. If you have the knowledge of healing people, I think this is a high time that we should respect those folks, and they should come, and we need people that can step in and support these talents. Because if I don't push this, for example, like the legacy that I inherited, Dr. Mayanja's legacy of nature's healing, if I ignore, I don't push this, the whole 300 years decade documentation is gone. Yeah, so that's what we are looking forward to. You guys, whoever interested, you're more than welcome to visit us. We don't charge consultation, and you can visit us 945, I believe so. We're gonna put our address there. You see the address, then you can be able to visit us. So give us a call, send us an email. You're more than welcome.
Great.
Yes.
So just looking to educate people and tell some stories and things like that. Okay.
Yes, give them a story to learn more about nature and more collaboration and connections.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrea.